Hello traders and welcome back to the Forex channel. Today is another Q&A. So I asked for questions on my Instagram account. The link is on the screen there, or all my social medias are actually in the description. There are a lot of fake accounts out there that obviously are pretending to be myself, using my profile picture, my name, posting on the pictures I post. So definitely be careful. I'll never message you first. I'll never randomly start following you. I'll never randomly start liking your posts. So if that does happen, just be aware that it is not me and make sure you're following the right account, which is the only one that's in the description down below. So I am planning on actually doing, one or two Q&As per month because you guys seem to like it. And obviously if you have any questions, then it is your chance to ask a trader, a funded trader, and also a trader that has been trading, over three years now, since I was 16, and now I am 19. So I did actually put up the YouTube Q&A questions tab on my Instagram story, and you guys sent in your questions. So we're going to start with obviously some questions which I think most of you guys will find useful. I'm going to try and pick the ones which I see asked most often, pick the ones which in my DMs I see a lot of the times, recurring messages. So I'm going to try and cover those. First question: main habit you developed that helped push you over to consistency. And this is a very, very interesting one because it's never usually one thing that will make you that profitable trader. It's kind of a combination of different habits that you actually build up over time. If I had to name one, it would be discipline, because I'd say discipline and patience are kind of wrapped into one. You have to have that patience to be able to be disciplined. You have to be able to wait 2 or 3 days maybe for a trade setup, and then you have to have that discipline to not take other setups which might not fit your plan perfectly. I'd say with the discipline, you've got to, let's say you hit your daily loss, you stop trading. No point trading again. If you hit your trade limit, stop trading. It's kind of these little things which a lot of beginners actually make the mistake of. I get some people asking me how they can improve their trading in my DMs, and I ask them to just send me their MT4. You can tell a lot by a trader by just looking at their MT4, the previous day, the previous week. And if you see hundreds and hundreds of trades, mixed loss sizes, mixed win sizes, then you can kind of get a good picture. Okay, they don't really have a risk management plan. They're obviously not sticking to any strategy. Random pairs, random trades. 1 minute they're buying gold, 1 minute they're selling gold. So you can kind of see, okay, this person doesn't really have the discipline. They don't really have the trading plan. They definitely don't journal their trades because they seem to be making the same mistake over and over again. And this is kind of one of the main habits I'd say you actually need to attempt to develop into your trading. Obviously it's not going to happen straight away. You're not just going to suddenly become really, really disciplined and be able to just not trade. Because, if you're a trader and you like trading, you're going to want to obviously be in trades. So you're going to want to get that adrenaline rush. But if you see here in the past week, we only have 4 trades on gold. And the loss 1%, and then overall we're up 5.8k. But I might not trade for the rest of the week now. I've made my profit, the profit I wanted to make. The setups were actually there. Some setups I didn't take. I had an FOMC trade, didn't take it on the FTMO. Part of the plan. Why don't you do interviews or hang out with other traders? And this one is quite interesting. A lot of the traders you actually see on Instagram, YouTube, and just general social media, a lot of them don't actually trade for a living. They're good marketers. They know how to sell you a course. They know how to get the views by flashing the cars, the money, the lifestyle, and the unrealistic aspects of the trade. They draw you in with that sort of the lifestyle, the Forex trader's lifestyle, which is kind of known as now, and that's why Forex has such a bad name. And there's just not really many real proper traders out there. There's a few I've seen on YouTube, which I might try and get on for podcasts. I'm going to try and start the podcast up. So hopefully we can actually get that going. I can get on some real traders. If you're a beginner trader, you don't really know who's real and who's not. But because I've been doing it a few years, I now know, okay, this person's real. This person's definitely not real. You can kind of tell by the types of videos they make. And I personally just like trading by myself. If you're in a group of traders or you're friends with a few traders, you might have conflicting views on the markets. I might say buy, they might say sell. Then it's like, okay, do I trust my analysis? Do I trust their analysis? And you kind of can have the conflict of who is right. and then, you know, ego could get involved. Okay, this person was right. Then they go on about their trade, and, you know, it's just not really worth it. I'd rather just trade myself and keep it that way. What keeps you motivated after losses? And, you know, this is quite a simple one, and it's where a lot of people actually go wrong in their trading. They think of losses as, you know, it's such a bad thing. But if you have a risk management plan, if you have a normal trading plan, it's going to happen. You're going to lose trades. And no matter your strategy, 90% win rate, you can lose 10 in a row out of 100 trades. Out of 1,000 trades, you could lose 100 trades in a row if you think about the stats. So you kind of got to think, is this loss going to affect me in the long run? No. Am I going to learn from this loss? Am I going to put it in my journal? Am I going to, realize what did I do wrong and improve from it? Then what's the problem in that loss? You know, the only issue with losses is if you keep making that same mistake and you keep losing by making that same mistake over and over and over again. And this is when it can lead to, you know, long losing streaks. Then you get demotivated. You don't actually want to trade, or you think it is a scam. But what I personally do is, after a loss, at the end of that day, I'll go into my journal. Inside my journaling software has all my trading stats, my trading journal, and my daily notebook, where I post in there pretty much every day to myself about the trading day, what went wrong, what went well, and then how you can improve on that. You know, even if you have a winning day, even if you have winning trades, you can still improve from that day. Let's say you didn't hold to your target, but you still made profit. Some traders would be like, okay, I made profit, it was a good day, there's nothing I can learn from that. You've got to go into the psychology of it. Okay, why did I close early? Why didn't I hold to the target? Were there certain technical analysis factors which were leading me to actually close early? Or was it literally just, you know, the emotions of seeing that profit and not wanting to then lose that profit, go into break even or to stop loss? You know, you kind of got to dig into this, find out what type of trader you are. You know, if you're an emotional trader, you kind of got to try and get away from that and trade more like a robot. And obviously it's not really easy to just make that switch and then trade like a robot, but you're obviously going to have psychological errors in your trading. You know, it's pretty much 90% psychology. I do think anyone can make a trading plan that works and a trading strategy. It is mostly about the psychology. And this is where a lot of traders go wrong. They try and search for years or months and months and months for the holy grail, so to speak, trading strategy, and it obviously doesn't exist. People could trade SMC and make money. People could trade support and resistance and make money. People could trade Ichimoku cloud indicator and make money if they have the right psychology. Now, even if you have a 20% win rate, you can still make money. Good risk to reward. Although you will lose most of your trades, those winners will be big. So then overall you are profitable. So these people that say, if you only have this strategy, you can make money, completely wrong. Any strategy can make money. It's literally just the psychological effects. And if you can get through the losses and learn from them, it will strengthen your psychology, because you realize, I made a mistake on this loss. This is how I could have improved it. The next question, what amount of back testing is considered enough to consider a strategy profitable? And obviously this does vary, because you can't really say you're profitable from a strategy if it's back testing, because past price action isn't going to be exactly the same as future price action. So you've kind of got to forward test as well, you know, maybe take it actually on your live account, because you don't really know if it's a profitable strategy unless you're actually taking it in the moment. It's all good looking back on candles from a year ago going, I would have entered here, I would have entered here, but in that actual moment, would you have actually entered there? Would you have waited for another reaction? Would you have waited for the next extra confluence? Would you have waited at that certain time? You know, many different factors to actually make a profitable strategy. Overall, I'd say you only really know it's profitable if you've been live trading 2, 3, 4 months of using this strategy and you're in the green. You know, at the start it might only be a couple percent in the green, but over time you can develop it, improve that strategy, and then over time, like mine, I never used to make a lot of percentage, and now I consider my strategy quite profitable. You know, you see the FTMO 7.8% in 2 weeks on the last month's trading, and we're up 5.8% in this week, the first week. You know, I consider my strategy profitable, and that's because at the start I did a lot of back testing. You know, I still do a lot of back testing because you can always improve, but mainly now I do forward testing, and I test things from actually entering on live accounts. Like I said before, it's mostly psychology in trading, so you kind of got to get over that barrier of actually entering live. And if you're to keep practicing that strategy in live markets when it's actually happening in front of you, then that's pretty much the main way you can actually improve your trading. There's obviously other ways to do it, but that is the main way to actually improve your trading. Do you trade currency pairs too? Yes, I do trade currency pairs, and the main ones I actually trade, or the only one I pretty much trade, is Aussie dollar to the US dollar, so AUD USD. And this is because did a lot of back testing on it, did a lot of forward testing, and it was working perfectly. You know, the trades I was actually entering on this pair, back testing was a bit trickier, but in the live markets, you know, I was getting the sniper entries, and yeah, it's been quite a profitable pair for me. You know, my first trade on my FTMO account, the funded one, was an AUD USD trade. We made like, I think, £6,000 or £7,000 from AUD USD, you know, in the past couple of weeks. So, you know, it's been a very, very good pair to me. Obviously, I always trade gold, but I kind of been swaying between the two now. You know, it's kind of 50-50 with those two pairs. But obviously, I've been trading gold for like 3 years now, so I do have a better understanding of that pair. And I'd say anyone can learn pretty much any pair perfectly if you put in the time. With the gold trading, I do find it a lot easier now. At the start, I was like, it's so volatile, it was moving so much. And then I realized, okay, I was trading during the start of a pandemic, actually before the pandemic. So I was in the normal market conditions, and then boom, everything just went crazy, moving hundreds of pips per session. And yeah, it wasn't really ideal. And then now the markets, you know, during the war and the Russia stuff that's going on, it's kind of been pretty normal, you know, compared to like the last few years. And it was a very, very tough time to actually get into the markets. But yeah, back to the question, I do trade currency pairs too. Well, technically one of them. Are you investing into anything? The answer is yes. You know, I invest into a lot of things. You know, there's a video link in the description to my second channel where I actually did a video based on my investments, going over all my investments I have and my investment plans for this year. So go and check that out over there. Do you hold trades over the weekend? The answer to this is no. I don't usually trade over the weekends. You know, I don't usually swing trade, which would probably cause you to hold over the weekend. I just day trade, you know, a couple of hours. I say the lowest amount of time I'm going to trade is probably an hour, half an hour, depending on the time frame I'm actually entering on. But holding over the weekend is not really ideal for me. As you've seen recently, I think gold last month gapped 400 pips, you know, from Friday to Sunday. So the slippage on that would be absolutely crazy. If you got a 20 pip stop and then you get stopped out for 400 pips, that is not good. You know, instead of losing 1%, you lost like 16%, something like that, 20%. You know, this is kind of the main reason. You know, you can get those crazy gaps. Something could happen over the weekend, especially with Russia and Ukraine at the moment. Pretty much anything could happen. And yeah, that's pretty much the main reason why I don't hold over the weekend. You know, at the end of Friday, we usually don't really have much volume. So this is kind of another reason. Another question, would you say discipline is the hardest thing about trading? And it's funny that question was there because at the start of the video, we literally talked about discipline being the main habit to actually incorporate into your trading. And I would say yes, because I say psychology is the hardest part, it's the most important part, and that is why 90% of traders actually fail, in my opinion. It's not due to the strategy, because any strategy can make money if it's used correctly. You put in the time to actually learn the strategy, learn when the moves happen, learn why the moves happen, you can make money. Issue is people struggle with the discipline. People struggle with the mindset of seeing profit and then not seeing profit. Next holiday destination. It's got to be somewhere hot. So, I don't know, I do like the look of Monaco. Would like to move to Monaco because many reasons. Definitely not the zero income tax. But you know, it's a very, very nice country. You know, you've got the F1, you can watch that pretty much out your window, depending on where you live. But I don't know, somewhere hot. The last question, do you just trade the SMC on gold? Jesus. Well, I do not trade SMC at all. You know, SMC, I might make a full video on it because a lot of people that actually trade SMC don't actually have a clue how to trade. I'm not saying the strategy is bad because, you know, the methods actually used in SMC can definitely be used to actually make money. But it's literally like a cult. I say one thing about SMC on my Instagram story. You get like probably 20, 30 DMs of people saying they make 30% in a week, every single week. If you do the maths, if you make 30% in a week, every single week, with £1,000 account, you'd be a billionaire at the end of 1 year. So you got to think, are these SMC people that are making 250R on one trade, 100% on another trade, 50% on another trade, are they really making this? Because I don't think so. If you have to make 150% on a trade and you make that every single trade or every single week, I'm sorry, but that is not consistent. And it's not really working the long term, in my opinion. You know, this is just my opinion. You guys will take it as offense because I know what SMC traders are like. But yeah, that is my thoughts on SMC. If you want a full video, leave it in the comments and I will go into the details. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy the video. Bit of a longer one, but the Q&As always are. If you did enjoy, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.